Now ready for a new phase in our response to the pandemic.
Picking up the pieces after strict lockdown measures to stop the spread of the merciless coronavirus.
The National Coronavirus Command Council has decided to enforce a nationwide lockdown.
Such announcement, to many, have come to be known as the family meeting. COVID-19 has crippled many economies, and South Africa was no exception. But after consultation with various stakeholders, the president says the country is ready for the new step.
We have withstood the coronavirus storm. Now is the time to return our country, its people, and our economy to a situation that is more normal, that more resembles the lives that we were living 6 months ago. It is time to move to what will become what we call our new normal, for as long as the coronavirus is with us. While much economic activity resumed from June, it is now time to remove as many of the remaining restrictions on economic and social activity as it is reasonably safe to do. Following consultations with a number of stakeholders, provincial, local government, traditional leaders, and drawing on the advice of scientists and engagements with various stakeholders, Cabinet decided this morning that the country should now move to alert level 1.
It's been 6 months of the new normal. This meant many had to adapt to a new way of living. Now, since the infection has decreased and recovery rate increased to 89%, the borders will be opened with conditions. There's still a ban against travelers from high-risk countries.
The tourism sector is one of our greatest economic drivers. We are ready to open our doors again to the world and invite travelers to enjoy our mountains, our beaches, our vibrant cities, and our wildlife game parks in safety and confidence.
Under level 1, the curfew will be extended and the sale of alcohol for home consumption will be till Friday.
The hours of curfew have been changed. The curfew will now apply between midnight and 4 a.m. The sale of alcohol at retail outlets for home consumption is now permitted from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 1700. Alcohol will be permitted for on-site consumption in licensed establishments only and with strict adherence to the curfew.
And the new announcement on social gatherings.
The move to alert level 1 will mean a further easing of restrictions on gatherings. Social, religious, political, and other gatherings will now be permitted as long as the number of people does not exceed 50% of the normal capacity of a venue or the facility.
A reminder that it's people who move the virus. The president urged everyone to take responsibility.
I must repeat this because this is an important message that all of us as South Africans must keep in mind. We must wear a mask whenever we are in public and make sure that it covers both the nose and the mouth. Secondly, we must maintain a distance of 1.5 meters from other people at all times and ensure that we are in spaces that are well ventilated. Thirdly, we must continue to wash our hands or use hand sanitizers regularly. Fourthly, we must download the COVID Alert South Africa app.
The president has also vowed to continue with the battle against gender-based violence.
Fellow South Africans, violence against women and children has continued unabated during the period of the pandemic. We are determined as a government to continue with our resolve to deal with the scourge of gender-based violence and femicide. Based on the latest data, we have identified 30 hotspots around the country where the problem is most rife. As we move to the next alert level, we are increasing and improving support services for survivors of gender-based violence, particularly in the identified hotspots. We have to do so not just because the lockdown is being eased, but as part of work already underway to implement the National Strategic Plan adopted by Cabinet earlier this year, as it was drafted by the women of our country.
The President pleaded with South Africans to be more cautious as the country cannot afford another increased infection rate. Nhlanhla Khatlani, SABC News, Johannesburg.